Hello, my name is Marcela Collier. I'm a certified positive discipline parenting coach with High Impact Club, and today I'm going to share with you age-appropriate consequences by ages from 1 to 5 years old. I'm a gentle parenting advocate and I teach parenting with understanding. If that kind of content is something that you want to learn more about, subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell because every week I upload a new video. Every weekend. Before we get into consequences, let's be very clear on what consequences are versus punishment, because they're separate things. Just to put in simple terms, consequences are directly related to the behavior and punishment is not. So for example, your child breaks something. Let's just suppose he breaks something. What does timeout have to do with breaking things? For example, in that order of ideas, it's a punishment. Consequences are directly related to the behavior. Now, they vary depending on how old your children are. Let's go with the first age group that goes between 1 and 2.5 years old. Now your 1-year-old has more movement, he has more freedom to explore, and with that comes that he's going to start getting into things. How do you discipline your 1-year-old? Can you even discipline them? Discipline is guiding them, is teaching them the correct way. That's what discipline is. It comes from the word disciple, which it means to teach, to guide. You can discipline your 1-year-old if you think about it in that way. Now, we need to understand where your 1-year-old, 2-year-old is developmentally. If your child is 12 months old, you can really talk about, let's give them a directly related to the behavior consequence if they don't even know what they're doing yet. Instead of that, when it comes to children 2 and under, you provide a safe space for them to explore as much as they can without your intervention. For that, I recommend to create a yes space. Another thing that I recommend is to replace the current behavior for replacement behaviors that kind of serve the same purpose for them. If they are teething and they're chewing or they're biting you, what can they bite that is safe? Oh, that hurts mommy. If you need to bite, you can bite this. Give him something, a replacement thing that he can use to meet that need. Because every behavior is the communication of a need. Maybe he's trying to cope with anxiety with biting. Maybe he's teething. With the 2.5-year-old, it's very similar. Redirecting him to a different activity, redirecting him to a different behavior, having the yes space for them to move as much as they can without your intervention. But as well, 2.5 up until 3 years old, they start learning a little bit more about who they are and that they have a will of choice, that if they do something, something else will happen, right? That they start to see the correlation of their actions. In that age, you can start introducing correlated consequences. Correlated consequences are directly related to the behavior. Again, if your child throws a toy, a timeout is not directly correlated, but having to pick up the toy that he throws is correlated. If your child is not being safe with the toy and you know that he's going to throw it again, then you can put it away for the time that he needs to cool down, and you could let him know as well, I need to make sure that you're safe with this toy. Do you see the difference between that and you're not going to play with this toy because you're being unsafe, and then it's as long as I want, as long as I see my children needs to not be playing with that toy. 4 years old and up, we're talking about between 4 and 5, natural consequences are a great teacher. Natural consequences are that you don't impose them, that they kind of happen. It is the immediate result of the behavior. So if your 5-year-old doesn't want to share toys with his friends are going to get bored and not want to play with him for the day. That's a natural consequence. If you struggle with your children to put on their coats, to go outside, have them taste that consequence if safe. If it is safe enough for him to go outside and be a little chilly, be a little cold, he's going to learn that that's the direct correlation to his action. That's a natural consequence. Natural consequences, you don't intervene. With correlated consequences, you do, but they're still directly related to the behavior. With 4 and 5-year-olds, besides natural and correlated consequences, you can start working on reparation. My twins, they're 5 years old. They broke the TV tray. How can they contribute to repair the loss? They have some money saved. Each one of them contributed $1 to the price of the new TV tray. And once that new TV tray came, they helped daddy put it up. Again, for 1 to 2-year-olds, work on creating a safe space, a yes space. Work on redirecting the behavior. Once they're 2.5 to 4 years old, then natural and correlated consequences. For 4 years old and 5-year-olds, work on correlated natural consequences and reparation. And that works the same for older ages. What about when they are in big behaviors? If they're throwing a tantrum, if I try to apply consequences, they will just tantrum more. You don't apply consequences when they're tantruming, when they're upset. You have to help them cool down first, but just in the way that they need. If you want to learn how to stop your children's tantrums in less than 5 minutes, the Tantrums Workshop will take you there. I'm going to leave the link down below, and I'll see you inside the workshop. And if you want to learn more about gentle parenting, the 7 steps to make gentle parenting work, I have a full video about that. It is this one right here. I encourage you to go there, give me a thumbs up if you like this video, keep parenting your children with understanding, and you are a cycle breaker. I'll see you next time.